It's the Caitlin
Hello, Black Lotus. Well, now all we need is a Gitrog monster. Right now? Yeah, same. I'm sure I killed a few critters on accident, mucking around. Wheel the Bayous, the frog has a home? Hell yeah. I remember in Hunter's Safety, seeing a group of kids. We would, like, have a break every day. And during the break, I saw them, like, they had caught a frog and they were, like, actively ripping it apart. And I was, like, thinking to myself, these kids should not have guns. This is the group of people that should not be given one of those. But that's probably a bad topic for a frog stip, huh? We want to encourage the froggies. Let's adjust this card size even more. I'm gonna grab Vista here. A 12/12 frog could be a lot better than a 6/6 frog. Some kids are psychos. Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of that is taught, or at least it's very often taught. If the parents show respect for animals, then the kids are likely to. But some kids are just psychos. Creeping Tar Pit seems like a friend to frogs. Just thinking here. Grim Monolith, Troll, both reasonable. Yeah, I always hated that about mowing the lawn in Tropic Ender. I always tried to give the toads and stuff time to get off the lawn. My little sister lives in that old house we grew up in. I think she just like straight up doesn't mow. She just does it in the middle of nowhere. There's no homeowners association. I was thinking about Arbor Elf, Sylvan Library, maybe Preacher. One of these scream frog to me. Well, let's get tutor for a frog. Tumblewag, Recurring Nightmare, Peatland, all reasonable here. I'm gonna take Recurring Nightmare. The Gitrog's got that like sack effect on it. I just like passing two green-black duels. Sprawl plays pretty well with Arbor Elf. That's nice. Yeah, real good chance we're just green-black here. Blue's a pretty good color for frogs in general, though. No frog friends. Tyrant's kind of good with frogs. Oh, there's a cradle here. Should be cradling. Probably should be. Very large frogs can eat small birds. I think I'm into that. I think I might buy birds here. Cherry would be a sick wheel. Green would have to be super open though, right? It's the only green card here. You had a Pac-Man frog that you would feed rats? Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Those things get huge. Snakes seem like the enemies of frogs, With the Crucible. The Crucible's over here in that I'm like probably not gonna play it, It's like here so I don't forget about it, but it like it and the Tar Pit are both not on the deck right now. Interesting. Hey, Anoxia thinks the Saw thinks that 41 months. I'd like to play with Glissa some. Could just grab Archon or Questing Beast. Like this deck could just cast Archon, you know? We don't have to Recurring Nightmare it or what have you. Between Grim Monolith and Black Lotus. Questing Beast is very similar to Gitrog Monster, though. That hasty goodness. Ents are definitely friends of the frogs. 100%. Yes. Stip successful, friends. Let's get these frog beats going. This could give me more of the same. I think I like the snuffs here. Free spells are pretty good. Pretty good. Vaultborn's a pretty good one to sack to Gitrog. I kind of like the Imperial Seal here. We might like tutor up Black Lotus or Gaia's Cradle, or could actually just like find our frog, right? Has my opinion on Vaultborn become more positive? Yeah, no, it definitely has. I still don't think it's like the best 7-drop for the slot. But I have seen it like come into play off of Flash and win games. I turned 3 with Through the Breach against Mono Red and lost earlier, which didn't feel great, but it's probably not its fault. Yeah, not surprised to see the green-black creature leave. There were a bunch of green-black duels in pack 1 that disappeared. I don't think we're hoofing. Maybe we are. It'd be awkward to be in a spot where we're tutoring for hoof instead of the frog. Currently, we don't have a lot of things to sack to natural order. But we do have this Gaia's Cradle that wants more early game green plays. Oh, wow, hum. Black Lotus and Mana Crypt. This deck's getting saucy. Turn 1 frog, the Dream. There's an Ancient Tomb there. Start to wonder about having too much colorless mana, but I'm gonna grab it. I did have a good Tyrant deck with Eureka, for sure. I'm not sure that Vaultborn's better to natural order 4 than like an 8/8 with haste, trample, and ward 4. Or a Progenitus, right? Can't really use any of this. I guess we're grabbing Soul Guide Lantern. Maybe Mutska was Recurring Nightmare. I like Converter a reasonable amount. I'm going to take the Night's Whisper, though. I don't think Exhume is good here at all. We have 1 discard outlet in the whole deck. You can't flash a reanimated Progenitus? Correct. The comment I was referring to was talking about it for natural order decks. I think this has been one of the worst seasons for natural order I've ever played in this cube. Is where my comment was coming from. A little oddity action. Torsten's a sweet one in natural order form, but I don't really want to support it. And we've got other targets too. And I might just not play the natural order. We don't have a ton of things to sack early. Even more graveyard hate. Augur is technically something to sack to natural order. I don't love it in this deck, but we could play it. Yeah, we're not gonna have the number of forests necessary for Raphaelos. Llanowar Elves helps a lot. Brings us from 1 green to 2. Hey, I'm a Fist, thanks to 25 months. You like the natural order still? Well, I got a lot better in those last few picks. And now I can get this Underdog. Maybe the Curtains. I don't think I'm going to play any of this, right? Maybe I'd splash in Fiery Covenant. We have the Taiga just in case. No harm there. I do not think making Eureka better makes Natural Order better. I think you typically want to build those decks differently. Hostile Investigator is pretty sweet to drop early, and it's technically something that I could get value off Recurring Nightmare for, but it might just have to be the cut here. I'm really excited for Tuesday. It's so rare for me to be excited for a non-cube format, but I'm pretty excited to jam some Modern on Tuesday, or at least like some drafts to build up my collection to play Modern. What makes me so excited? I had a lot of fun on Friday doing Modern Brewing. How are the Modern Horizons 3 drafts? I didn't do any drafts. There was like a long wait time, so I just did sealed builds because I figured that was more interesting for folks that wanted to pre-release anyway, while also giving me like a lot of time to read the cards because I hadn't read the set yet. I'm sure there's still cards in Modern Horizons 3 that I've not read. Yeah, there might just like not be enough swamps for Snuff Out, even with the Vista. I do want it though. Real bummer we didn't get an actual Bayou in here. We saw one in Pack 1, but they just didn't wheel. We do have Birds of Paradise. We do have Utopia Sprawl, so that helps a bit. Don't love it, Brutality is a totally reasonable card, and it's quite good with Recurring Nightmare. My literal only discard outlet. We're on the draw here. God damn it. The sandwich just went from reasonable to real bad. Well, maybe the Reanimator and the Endurance ends up being relevant. Yeah, the idea was definitely crack Vista for Forest, sprawl it, and name Black. Swamp's a pretty good draw. Now I just need a Black Lotus for the turn 2 Gitrog. 3 lands on the top, really? So I shouldn't crack this Vista then. Oh, I've been lied to. Well, that's sort of a land. Do I like the current iteration of Vintage Cube? I would say mostly. I kind of enjoyed it more when they were messing around with archetypes. Got me. Well, Recurring Nightmare just got a lot better. That's our way to get the Gitrog back. You wish there was a bit more synergy-based stuff in it? Yeah. I mean, that's like... I agree with you. I was saying kind of the same thing here. Too many OTJ filler cards? Yeah. Yeah, I do wish some of those had gotten cleaned out in the last sweep, the last update. Guy's Cradle would be a sick rip. Sure, Barnyard. Seven mana to flip Oddity. Yeah, there are a lot of different cards that they could have played that I think would have played better than some of the ones that got included. I would not have played the draw 7 from OTJ, no. I don't think that one's interesting. But like Bonnie Powell and the red-green 4-2 that like shocks something and makes a mana rock. Or maybe it's not a 4-2, but basically OTJ cards that have looked really good in that limited environment. This is an interesting attack. They got something for me. Roxane's a 4-3. Sure, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking it might be post-combat collective brutality, but Bowmaster makes sense. They just got a Ballista. I feel like Ballista's gonna win. My internet didn't cut out, did it? Y'all still here? Still here? Okay, cool. But yeah, I feel like the Ballista locks this up. You've never been here. Oh no. The one fog that's in the cube for Questing Beast is the One Ring. Questing Beast can win through it. Walking Ballista and Titania. That's pretty good. Gotta imagine that's gonna be winning hum. Well, foot, If only we still had that Uvenwald, Bitter Triumph. That's gonna lock it out. Just a removal spell here. Kill Augur. Not really drawing live. Oh shit. What up? I might cut in. Well, about Endurance versus Curtains. I'd like to board in Fire Covenant, but I don't think I'm gonna have enough red sources for it. Like 3 here. I think I'm just gonna submit. I guess Lantern's good against Titania recursion. I kind of hate that. It's like literally just the Titania. Yeah, I'm just gonna submit. Hate Tyrolean thinks the Sob thinks 27 months. Come on, Dak. There's a bunch of like Black Lotuses and Mana Crypts and shit in here. Sure. Should have played the Cradle out this turn, just in case they feel like mind twisting for one, right? We get Norked. The Plot Critter would be kind of solid here. Still no black source for us. It's a little troubling. Oh, there's a black source at least. Hey, Dr. Cheese thinks the sub thinks of 53 months. Just having nothing going on. It's never a great feeling. This is kind of the concern if we're not like having any explosive start where we're like dumping super fast things before the opponent can deal with them. Like we still have all of this acceleration. It's tough in the deck, and it's here for me to draw now. Fortunately, it was replacing a land. You know, like drawing a Mana Crypt here versus another forest isn't that big of a difference. Just one day of Modern. Are you talking about the early access event, Bogart? The Modern Horizons 3 cards are not on Magic Online. They're not online until Tuesday. I cannot play with Magic Horizon, or Modern Horizons cards until Tuesday. I intend to play more Modern then. Yeah, the early access events are always just single day. Get me all excited about the new cards, and then I don't think we can even really concede here, because we could just draw a Questing Beast and brick their board. Yeah, just enough to get me hooked. Glissa probably locks it up, though. I'm going to turn one this Augur. See if we can play a land off the top. Really not thrilled with this card in my deck. Hey, there we go. A little bit of value, just what the doctor ordered. I guess I'm casting Craterhoof next turn, huh? I don't love it, but it's like a thing to do. Yeah, I'm supposed to wait. Yeah, it's not that good, right? Might just be feeding their mana drain. I'm just gonna pass. It forces a block. Does it even do that? Be 9 plus 9. Yeah, I guess. I feel like the odds of them not having a counter are pretty low there too. I have been ninja'd. Yeah, we don't have the colored mana to play the Gitrog and the Crater Hoof here. Just thinking. The Cobra gives me exactly enough green for Crater Hoof. How can I have exactly enough green for Crater Hoof? And then also a green for Gitrog. Yeah, you're fine. I'm still just thinking here. Kind of hate everything about recurring nightmaring here. Like, we just have to trade with the Shinobi, assuming they have nothing. And then I'm drawing a forest next turn. I guess I could Greg Vista on upkeep. How much life do I want to lose here, right? Well, that's a bad sign. I need something that spits out like a bunch of little shitters for the recurring nightmare. Kind of hard for me to get ahead with it. They just bin to Jace the Mind Sculptor. That's a great sign. Yeah, let's get curtains in. Got seal, I guess. Well, at least Frog got to attack that game, Wonder if a turn 2 Frog could be good. We have 5 mana turn 1, but Ancient Tomb doesn't let you. I only have 1 color of mana for the Frog, right? We need 2. The record so far is bad, Retract. It's a bad record. Right. Collective Brutality got to be worth 4 damage there because we shrank the blocker because our frog has trample, of course. I feel like they're not playing Rider without some amount of graveyard stuff. It kind of makes me want to have Lantern in. Hard to square that with all of our games where we're just like running out of gas. Yeah, Endurance is my most cuttable card. I'm not going to cut Endurance for Lantern here. Yeah, it's tedious, Gerber. It's tedium. I didn't want to do it. And if they have an F6 my turn, they can just scoop anyway. It's like literally cast for lethal, right? Yeah, it's exciting to plot Brawler here, but I think what I want to do is play Curtains and transform it while I have access to black mana. And then next turn I can play Arbor Elf and ideally plot Brawler on 3. They could have a forest too. Yeah, the one way they live is if they counter your brutality there. So like if you over discard, and then you just like don't have those cards. I was pretty sure they didn't, but it's not like necessarily strategically better. Kind of like to let him keep that hand, but then the brutality gets to kill the Arbor Elf. Oh shit, what up? Hey, Ice Cream, thanks for 58 months there. What is the happening? What is the haps? Just demon some vintage cube. Maybe plotting Brawler is better. I think if you plot Brawler, then you can Natural Order for Hoof next turn. And have lethal. Having another attacker might give me lethal too. Yeah, it's like 12. 12 with hoof pumps just from 3 attackers. Plenty of damage. Assuming it resolves. Kind of brutal if it gets countered, because then I just won't have mana. Yeah, maybe I should just plotted Brawler here. Anytime locks them if they have a reactive hand. Like playing into this card for no reason. I could just be plotting. I can just name birds, so I just go down to 2 mana now. Hate it, hate it. I named Recurring Nightmare. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't like Sailing because it makes the Cradle tap for less mana. I could Garrick untap Ranger class. I think I'd rather just Garrick downtick. I'm just saying if I wanted to play the Monolith first. The untap does have to untap for the opponent. I was going to make it 3-3. I could empty Cheons. I would crack the Black Lotus for Grim Monolith. I would make 3 mana and I have 3 and a green floating. I would tap 2 mana for my Garrick. I'd have 1 colorless floating. Garrick uptick, untap my forest. I'd have to target the opponent's land too, but I would be able to untap my forest. Still have a colorless floating. Cast Ranger class. Why would that not work? Thought Sky hitting Archon. Well, that's terrifying. Tarmogoyf does offer to trade with a Gitrog. I guess we just go get a hoof, If I down take Garrick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'd have to tap the elves. I'd have one less attacker. It wouldn't be as good. Oh shit, what up? Hey, NJG, thanks for 57 months. You realize you watched 1,000+ hours of content, and in your head we're like pros, and the way we aren't. Also, not that at all. Cheers. Yeah, cheers, NJG. You know, in like a parasocial way. I have found that my viewers tend to have a pretty good idea as to what I'm like in person. I had a Zoom meeting with a viewer recently, and they said that that their memory worked like mine did, and I knew exactly what they meant. So based on their graveyard, I think the Lantern's got to come into play, They didn't know that one. Archon or what have you. A bit of an ass. Yeah, sometimes. Especially if I think it's funny. No, don't do it, opponent. No! My Harbor Elf! I guess we can plot him. I'm Sir Barrington's summoned companion. Love that. Come on, green source. Come on. Well, the endurance isn't bad. Yeah, one of the issues with this deck is the mana for sure. A lot of nice explosiveness. Not a lot of duels. Grave Titan coming down next turn. Yeah, it's healthy Scotera. Waiting for Ketaful to choose a card. Oh, the OCs. With their, like, 3 different ways of spelling their name. And their multiple drummers. Pretty sweet band. If I had a green source for this oddity, we just have lethal, right? Wouldn't that be nice? Not just a Lotus Cobra, but a 4/3 Lotus Cobra. Oh, they just tutored for something that could sack the Recurring Nightmare. Well, that's going to play very well for me. Yay. Well, Frog did some work, huh? Especially the turn 1 Frog. Got a little bit of beats in there, a little bit of action. Thanks again to Gurgles for the stip request. Good stuff.